Hi everyone. Well, a while ago I posted a video where I was talking about some problems that my son was having, like behavioral problems. And I want to give you an update. I want to share with you something that we've been doing that has shown a lot of improvement. So what I wanted to tell you about was the Guernsey cow milk. I'm so excited about this because, I mean, I can only assume that it's that, because we see a huge change. There's actually quite a bit of literature about the benefits of, first of all, raw milk. And here's one you might want to check out. It's called Raw Milk and Children. And they describe here how one boy who had autism symptoms, the symptoms reversed after drinking raw milk for a few weeks. And there's another article which is really interesting, Guernsey Milk and Autism. And the milk that my son's drinking, like I said, it's Guernsey milk. And Guernsey milk apparently is very different from, say, Holstein milk, because it has, instead of A1 beta casein, it has A2 beta casein. There is proline amino acid and in A2 beta casein milk, as opposed to histidine, which is in A1. And there is this little protein called BCM7, which you can read about here in this Mercola article, which causes neurological impairment in animals and people exposed to it, especially autistic and schizophrenic changes. And the proline binds to the BCM7 so that it can't be absorbed to your body, but the histidine doesn't do this. And in addition to that, the Guernsey milk contains 3 times as much omega-3 as other milks, and it contains a lot of beta carotene as well. And so there are a couple articles here, and I'll give you the links for them. And yeah, I find that it's made a big difference, or I'm guessing it's that, because what else could it be? So a couple of things about him that were concerning us was A, the lack of eye contact, which has kind of been an ongoing thing since he was a baby. Although it's not like he never makes eye contact, it's just it's a lot less, and it's kind of hard to get him to do it, and it's inconsistent. And when you compare to other kids, you see that eye contact has never been very good. And another thing was lack of imaginative play. So this isn't really something you notice with a 2-year-old, even a 3-year-old. I actually really didn't know what kids are supposed to do. Well, I kind of did, because I'd studied it in school, but I hadn't been around a lot of other kids. So I didn't realize that the way he was playing was that different. But the way he plays, I realized, especially lately, that he's really behind on a lot of these milestones. Like, he doesn't use imagination, or very little. I mean, a little bit, but kids at this age, they make their little figures talk. They have elaborate scenarios. They'll like set up a little town, and they have these elaborate imaginative scenarios, social scenarios really, that they act out. Or they'll like dress up and say, I'm Superman or something. And he never really did that. You know, he just liked puzzles. He likes cars a lot. But the thing that I noticed was he would actually line them up or categorize them a lot, mostly categorize them. And you know what? I have footage of him doing these things that we're concerned about. And I was like, oh, I don't want to put my son on the internet doing weird stuff. But I'll show you just a little piece of footage so you know what I'm talking about. So here's a piece of footage of him categorizing cars and really not making much eye contact, and this is kind of the way that he usually played.
Here, this is for the police and army and fire trucks, and this is for the Hot Wheels, this is for the trucks, this is for the pickup trucks, and this is for the workers, and this is for the people who go to work naturally. If Joel had a car, if Joel had enough money to buy a car, he would buy a lemon. This guy. Okay. And this is the work cars. This is the natural cars. This is the muscle cars. This is the cars you go on trips with, and these are the sports cars.
What about this one?
No, that's not sport car. It's for he's actually for he's for the snow plovers trucks. Okay. Can you get my box of cars out now?
This right here?
Oh, yeah, sure. I was doing that one with the hose. But I don't want any cars that have eyes. No cars that have eyes.
Okay.
Okay, now you look for more things. You're supposed to do it. Look for cars that don't have eyes. That don't have eyes. No!
Okay, so he tended to do a lot of play like that. What's changed is that he's actually showing imagination in his play now. Like, first of all, he never really would get on board, and I try to get him to do imitative or fantasy scenarios. Like, I would set it up and I'd try to get it going, but it's like he wouldn't really get on board very much. And then lately I set up pet shop kind of scenario, and he fed the animals. And then what was amazing was that he not only fed the animals, but he started to make up a scenario about the goose going to outer space. So here's a little clip of that.
He goes way up to the city, into that side of ocean, but you're on that side of ocean. He goes all the way from here to the other side of the ocean, and he comes all the way back. And then he goes across the water, paddle, paddle, to another country, goes out to outer space and stays there for a while. Paddle, 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 paddle. This is our space. That's where he crossed the ocean. This is the ocean. This is our space. And that is the ocean. And that's the city. And there is the pet, outside the pet shop in the park. And then all the way in there, across the line, it's there, the pet shop.
And then another night we were playing, and he wanted to pass the car back and forth. And it starts out where he's got this way that he wants to pass the car and pass it back and forth with me, and he wants me to do it a certain way.
Well, you have to do this. See if you can get on wheels like that. See, you have to make it where the wheels are kind of like this, and then you go.
Oh, you got it.
So you see, turn it around, turn it around, turn around.
Like this?
Yeah, like that, and then, no, and then do this. Okay. No.
Oh.
I meant like this, like throw up in the air like this.
Oh, careful though. And then all of a sudden, he totally changes course and starts talking about the car and all these amazing features that it has. So I want you to see this.
Maybe we should be doing this. Maybe we should pretend it has cool gadgets and it can go up stuff like this.
That's a great idea.
I always have ideas with that. I always play with them like that by myself.
You do?
Because that's the only way to play with them.
Oh, what can they do?
Oh, actually, this thingy, it shoots lasers all out of its things. This thing, I always get ideas of them, how they look. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This arrow means that you shed light, and it's really light that you can't see, and then boom, hits right in the bump. And this radio thing makes it really hot, and then bubbles on your skin come, and then with white cars that happens.
Oh, yeah?
With white cars, they melt.
White cars?
And with red cars that have like a monster on them, like rah, they get bubbles on their skin and then they turn into sparkles. Because those are monster cars.
What can I say? I mean, we see a really big difference. There's still other problems in other areas. So his camp was going to go to the water park, and they didn't want to bring him because they felt that he needs one-on-one attention to keep him safe in public. And so I went with him, and there were 80 kids there, and I could see his behavior is very, very different from all the kids. I mean, it's very, very different. I'm not talking about hyperactivity as in running around screaming and playing, like that's normal. This is really different. Like he's kind of off by himself, and he's got one thing in his head, which is to get into a door, and he just keeps going back to the door, keeps going back to the door. It's like for an hour, you're like running after him. He throws himself at one door, you pull him off, he throws himself at the other door, and it's like it just doesn't stop, you know? So you need someone one-on-one because he'll just bolt. Just keep going back to that door. It's like he can't get it out of his head. He needs to get off the door. Doesn't matter if you explain the rules or whatever. And he doesn't really play with the other kids very much, or he didn't at that time. He was kind of either bolting to the door or he was kind of off by himself doing things. And anyhow, so there is like a behavioral problem. I really don't know what it is. I don't know if he would qualify as ADHD. I don't know if he would qualify as autism spectrum, or it could be like some kind of learning disability. I really don't know what it is. And I just want to add that I think it's really unfair that raw milk is basically illegal in Quebec. You can get raw milk cheese, but the only way you can get raw milk is through like a co-op cow share kind of program. And raw milk just gets a really bad rap, but clean raw milk from healthy, family farm raised, organically raised, happy, healthy cows is like a medicine. I mean, it has a lot of health benefits. And the milk that we've been getting is from grass-fed cows, which has additional benefits. And you can look at the Weston A. Price Foundation to read more about the benefits of grass-fed milk. My kid seems a lot happier, and we're really thrilled about that. And so I want to let everybody know about the benefits of Guernsey milk. And if you have any experience with this or you know anything more about it, leave me your comments if you want to add anything. And thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.